Have you had reasons to queue for petrol in the last couple of days? Have you had your businesses crippled by the effects of the scarcity of petroleum products in filling stations across the country in the last couple of weeks? Have you had to change your daily routine or your movement across Nigeria because there's no fuel to power your vehicles or your generating sets? In case you find yourself in this mess, you're not alone. In the last 2 weeks, Nigerians across the country have had to go through hell getting petroleum products across filling stations in the country. From Lagos to Abeokuta, to Maiduguri, to Abuja, to Port Harcourt, to Bayelsa, Nigerians have gone through hell. Now, the question on the lips of many is, what exactly is the problem? What exactly is going on at the filling station? And why has the issue of petrol scarcity persisted for more than 2 weeks, with the government almost nearly finding no solution to the problem? In this short video, we try to look at the issues around regulatory failure and why Nigerians have had to go through hell and suffer to get petrol in the last couple of weeks. We also try to look at possible measures to put in place so that we'll have a reoccurrence of this kind of scenario in the future. In case you're watching me for the first time, my name is Adulterated, and this is Policy Radar, where we try to look at issues as they affect the economy, politics, policy, business, and development of the society. To be a part of this kind of conversation, please subscribe to this channel and share this video across platforms so that other people will have access to the same information that we have to pass here. Now let's get it started. About 2 weeks ago, Nigerians raised the alarm that some dirty fuel were being sold to people across filling stations in the country. Some people alleged that the fuel that they bought at filling stations had damaged their cars, their vehicles, their generating set, and some other machineries. Some others said that the fuel that they bought had different colors and some were watering. So subsequently, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, came out to say that Nigeria actually indeed imported some petrol products into the country that were said to be substandard. They were regarded as off-spec petrol. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority later said that it was working with other regulatory agencies to ensure that the consignment that brought in the products were tracked. Subsequently, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority confirmed that the shipment from Belgium contained higher quantity of methanol, and it prompted the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to withdraw it from the market. It was said that about 100 million liters of this substandard adulterated petrol had been distributed across Nigeria, and there was need to check the onward supply of that product into the market. So in the course of doing that, the regulatory agencies claimed that they had to stop the sale of this adulterated petrol product in the country. The NNPC later admitted that it did not test for methanol and agreed that the methanol content in the supply that we had in the country was more than the normal percentage of methanol that should be in the supply. The methanol content in the supply that had become problematic for Nigeria was 20%. And in contrast, the global average for methanol quantity in the petrol product should be 3 to 5%. So apparently we have a supply that had 20% methanol content rather than 3 to 5%. Yes, that is a big problem. Now the question is, what is methanol? According to the Methanol Institute, methanol refers to a blending component for petrol that is made from alternative non-petroleum energy sources, such as gas, coal, and biomass. It's a multi-purpose fuel used as a blending component in fuels or for the production of fuel components. In some other cases, methanol itself can be used as petrol for special vehicles. For conventional engines, methanol can be used as a straightforward or converted to petrol. High concentration of methanol blends, such as 85% methanol in petrol, can be used in special automobiles such as the flexible fuel vehicles. In China, methanol can be used as various blends. and in some markets, a blend of petrol and methanol is considered. In Europe and North America, blending of methanol and petrol is limited up to a few percentage, often less than 5%. If methanol is used as high blending ratios in petrol, alcohol-compatible materials are needed to maintain stability and safety in vehicles. So methanol properties allow automobile makers to design high-efficiency engines to compensate for low energy density of methanol. In a situation where methanol is applied as automotive fuel with high blending ratios or as pure fuel, technical adjustments of the existing fuel infrastructure are needed. Now, the global average for methanol content in fuel is about 2 to 3%. In some other part of the world, it is up to about 5%, depending on the quality of the fuel and the usage. In Europe, for instance, a maximum 3% volume of methanol is allowed to be blended in petrol under the Fuel Quality Directive and CEN standards. In the United States, there are limits to methanol content of up to 2.75% with an equal volume of butanol or higher content of alcohol. To be sure, methanol is not in itself dangerous for our vehicles. It has the capacity to allow the petrol to work in optimum level. In essence, methanol is good for the engine of our cars if applied in moderation. But when the mixture comes in high percentage, it lowers the density of the fuel to the point where at starting becomes problematic. A high percentage of methanol in our fuel can lead to explosion, and it can actually lead to pressure on several parts of our vehicles. For instance, methanol is highly corrosive to aluminum components, and an unregulated amount of the content can damage vital parts of the automobiles like the gasket and the rubber hoses. Interestingly, Nigeria has a history of adulterated fuel. Sometimes it is called foul fuel, sometimes it is dirty fuel, and now we have off-spec. Off-spec is essentially off-specification, meaning that the specification for methanol content was higher than the regular specification and the standards, so it was off-spec. So in 1997, an offensive odor premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, was imported into Nigeria during the regime of General Sani Abacha. The petrol product damaged vehicles and engines and caused health hazards for many Nigerians. At the time, the substandard fuel was imported into the country through an importer, and the PPMC later apologized to Nigerians for distributing and importing such toxic fuel into the country. About a decade later, in 2008, during the regime of the late Umar Musa Yar'Adua, we had a similar problem with petrol. Sometime in February 2008, 33,000 metric tons of gasoline was imported into the country from Amsterdam. There were reports of damaging vehicles and all of that. DPR said that it tested the product and it passed all of the regulatory tests. But unfortunately, it didn't test for ethanol, which was a major component of the fuel at the time. Now today, what we have is off-spec petroleum products. And today we have seen the results in the galloping pace of the domestic prices, in the various queues that we have in our filling stations, in the disruption that we have seen on our roads, and the damages that have been recorded with vehicles across the country, especially in Lagos. So what we have seen essentially in the last few weeks is that due to negligence on the part of the regulators, we've imported off-spec petrol into the country, damaging vehicles and causing disruption in the economy. I mean, despite the fact that we don't have stable electricity, many Nigerians have had to fuel their vehicles and fuel their generating sets, but there is no fuel. So apparently, there's disruption in businesses, there's disruption in people's home. They can't even power their generating sets. And we have seen the results in the transport fare. When people buy at the black market for as high as 600, 700 naira per liter, they are bound to transfer the effect on other people in terms of domestic prices. And that's what we've seen in the last couple of days. So across Lagos and across many part of Nigeria, we've seen prices rise through the ceilings. Many Nigerians will ask that what exactly is the way forward and how do we get out of this mess? For once, the NNPC is saying that it would recall some of this adulterated fuel. Last week, it said that it would take it 8 days to do that. I mean, this week, in some part of Nigeria, we have seen the situation worsen from what we had last week. Across Lagos and Abuja, the queues at filling stations have become much more chaotic than it was last week. So apparently the NNPC is still struggling to get a hold of the situation. Whether it's the bakery owner operating in Gogalada in Abuja, or the barbing salon operating in Ibadan in Oliole, or even the vulcanizer operating in Oyigbo in Port Harcourt, or even the man doing menial jobs on the streets of Kano, every Nigerian has one or two connections with petrol in terms of how we operate daily. So in essence, we have a whole lot on our hands in the absence of petrol, and we have so much to do with in terms of our daily lives. Where do we go from here? The NNPC has said that it will try to rejig its supply mode and ensure that there is supply in the next couple of days. So we're hoping that it will keep to its words. I mean, last week it said the same thing, but things have actually gone from bad to worse this week. So hopefully next week we'll have something different to say about the fuel scarcity situation in Nigeria. But in the meantime, let's hope and pray that we get it right as a country. So guys, that's it for today. What do you think about the fuel scarcity? What do you think about how it has crippled nearly the informal economy? And how do you think it has affected you as a Nigerian residing in Nigeria? What do you think the government can do to serve as deterrent for future occurrences? Or what do you think we can do to actually prevent this from happening again? You can make your opinions known in the comment section, and you can actually like and share this post to engage with other people on this platform and outside of this platform. Until I come your way next week, my name is Oladenge, and this is Policy Reader. Please subscribe to this channel, like our videos, so you can have more content like this to watch and engage with in the coming week. Thank you and God bless you. Bye-bye.